we're a work in progress. One thing that the Spain trip really helped with is we've narrowed in our focus on 4 or 5 key areas that we want to get better in, and the Spain trip has allowed us to start focusing on those areas earlier, and then we've been able to carry over into our practice sessions this first week those same areas, and our guys are familiar with the drills, familiar with what we're doing, familiar with the results that we want from those areas. So it just got us a little bit of a kickstart, a little bit of a head start on shoring up some weaknesses or some areas that this team certainly needs to be better at than we were last year if we're going to have success.
How valuable were those extra practices and those games?
They were good. The games were good just to it was good to put Samir out there a little bit. It was good to play some of the freshmen in game situations, see how they were going to respond. You never know. I mean, because, practice is a lot different than a game situation, and certainly we need to step it up another notch as we get to our exhibition games and close scrimmages, and then certainly into our regular season games. But the trip and the games allowed us to get an initial sense of what we have and what we have in more live situations than practice.
You lost one of the greatest shooters in VCU history, but you have Mo.
Best three-point shooter.
Best three-point shooter. But you got Mo and you have Hamdi. Does that lead to perhaps going more inside and stretching?
Yeah, we've got good big guys. We've got Mo and Hamdi are two of the premier, centers in our league. We've got an elite rebounder in Justin Tillman. So, we've got good big guys. We certainly have some strength and some muscle down there. So we are going to, we're going to get the ball in the paint. We're going to throw the ball into those guys. Those guys are making good decisions right now. We've really spent a lot of time working on our spacing when we throw it in there. Our spacing last year, we did 5 different type cuts off of post, and we change it by game and all that. So we're just trying to get good at one of them, really, really good at one of them, just to give them some room to maneuver down there. And we've been better so far.
When we talked to Mo just a second ago, he said one of the players who made the most progress with Johnny Williams. In what ways has he progressed and how much?
Yeah, he really works hard. Not even basketball wise, he's developed some really good leadership skills. And guys respect guys who work, and Johnny's worked extremely, extremely hard. I did a poor job with Johnny last year, so part of Johnny's struggles last year were on me, especially earlier in the year. So he's, Johnny and I have developed a much better relationship, and I think there's a trust level there. But he's worked extremely, extremely hard. I mean, the one thing that'll be most noticeable is his jump shot is better. He'll be able to, he can obviously get to the rim and finish like we all saw last year. He'll be able to score in the mid-range. Guys were going under ball screens the other day in practice. We set the ball screen and flipped the ball screen when they went under, and Johnny pulled up and hit a 15-footer, and he'll be capable of hitting, catch and shoot three-pointers as well. So I mean, he's going to be, a better shooter. His leadership with our team is certainly on a different level, and he's in the best shape I think he's been in. Last year he had a little bit of an injury that hampered him in the preseason, but he's in tremendous shape, both upper body being is that he's really strong, and then lower body being he's in great shape and can run. So I think when you're in great shape, when you can shoot the ball a little bit and you've got elite level speed and toughness in terms of getting to the rim, you add in the leadership, pretty good player.
You mentioned trust issues with Johnny. Is that something that
I didn't say trust issues.
Well, you gain more trust with him.
I didn't say there's issues. I said we gain more trust. Yes.
So you've gained more trust with Johnny. Have you found that how much smoother is this off season? Basically knowing all these guys and them being able to trust.
I mean, last year was brutal. I did a pretty good job of masking it, I think, but it was 5 years worth of an off season in one off season. I mean, it was rough. It was rough. This year was obviously quite a bit smoother. And like I said, part of it last year was we had Melvin, and we had to get him ready to go, and we had to spend a lot of time with him. Corey Bilberry was a really good player for us, but he required daily maintenance to make sure everything was in line, make sure the oil level was good, and all that, and the tires were rotated properly. And so, sometimes when you've got that, and when you're jumping into it, there's some guys who maybe slip through the cracks a little bit, who you're just not able to reach as quickly as you would like to. And this year, having recruited the freshman class that we recruited, we'd obviously reached them through recruiting and had a good relationship with those guys. And then, the older guys I had a pretty good rapport with from when I was here before is really that junior class, and getting to spend more time with Johnny and Justin both. And, this off season allowed us to do that. Sometimes I'd spend time with them one-on-one. Sometimes I'd spend time with both of them together. But that stuff just takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, and people want it to happen overnight, but it doesn't. And so, last year's dynamic was different. And I appreciate Johnny and Justin, those guys kind of sticking with us. To give us a chance, because we did, I didn't do a very good job last year, but luckily we've grown from that, and we've really been able to make some progress. So I feel good about that. I think Johnny's made as big a jump, as Darius made when he was here when I was an assistant. I think everybody would agree, if that shows in the same way it showed when Darius played, we're going to be in pretty good shape. Yeah, well, we've got, we're going to press a little bit more. We've gone back and kind of recalibrated our presses. So we're not going to be in double fist or diamond. We've spent a lot of time working on our 2-2-1 and our matchup zone. Coach Davis, my assistant, does that. He's kind of the czar of the 2-2-1 and the matchup, and he's done a great job of really breaking down where we could get better, and we've honed in on that. Our game over in Spain, where we gave up the least amount of points, we actually played the 2-2-1 back to the matchup the whole game, and we played really, really well. And our guys have a good sense. We got a couple things we got to change, and we're actually going to work on that today. But our guys have a good sense on that, and then we've transitioned to a different press back into our man. So we're working on a different press back into man that'll give us a little bit easier, give us a better ability to match up quicker in the half court. We won't be scrambling as much. It'll keep our matchups a little more true, and that has been aided by the fact we've got some bigger wings now, so we can play a bigger wing at the top of the press, and we don't have to maybe put our four-man up there, which puts you in an automatic scramble on the back end. So, yeah, we will press more. I think our personnel's better based for the type pressing that we're going to do, but it won't be all out, pick you up, full court, man-to-man type pressure.
You've got a nice blend of upperclassmen, freshmen. How have you seen Mo, Jordan, Jaquan kind of lead these guys at the start of the season?
Yeah, they've been good. You always want more leadership. You always want more, but I think Jaquan's practice habits have been really good, and has set the tone for some of those younger guards on how we do things. Mo's been our best player in practice, our most consistent player in practice. We give out an award every week for being blue collar, but it's based on four or five different things that contribute to winning. And Mo blew everybody out. He won by 10 points this week. So he's been our most consistent guy, and Burgess obviously brings the toughness and shows guys, hey, we dive on the floor here, we do this, that sort of thing. So those guys have been good, and like I said, Johnny's really stepped up. Johnny's leading one team in practice, Jaquan leads the other team in practice, and now we play them together some, like we'll do this season. But it's really been good. Mo lifting his level of play has helped everybody, and part of the reason Mo's had to lift his level of play is because Hamdi's so much better. I mean, Hamdi can challenge him now. There's days Hamdi beats Mo up down there. So, I mean, Hamdi can really, really challenge him. And when you got somebody who can challenge him, that just makes everybody better, and that's helped Mo get better. And Hamdi's come miles. He's light years better.
How do you think that happened with Hamdi? I mean,
you guys who aren't familiar with junior college kids, a lot of times it takes them a year. Like we had a bunch of them at Chattanooga. We've had a few other places I've been. I mean, it usually takes them a year to fully understand everything. Now, I mean, Hamdi had a good year last year. I mean, he probably outperformed what most were thinking. So he had a good year last year, but I mean, he's bracing for a tremendous season. I mean, we've got two of the better centers in the league on our roster. I don't know who people would trade for our two right now. And we've got two really good ones. We've got an elite level rebounder in Tillman. So, I think Hamdi he's in the best shape of his life. I don't know if y'all have seen him, if he's walked through. I mean, he looks like $1 million. He looks great. And he's worked really hard. He's stayed disciplined on his diet. He's made his weight every week that he was supposed to make. And then he's spent a lot of time on his skill work and skill instruction and, keeping the ball high. Got the ball stripped a little bit too much last year, and we've worked on that. And, with that, he gets confidence. And then when he goes to work on Mo, I mean, you get a lot of confidence. And so it's really, really built for him. And he's going to have a good year for us.
Coming in, Coach Golden got his hands on him, right? And thinking back at what the expectation was and what the level of workout was here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all, we don't lie to them in recruiting now. We tell them this ain't going to be easy. I mean, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be hard work. I mean, Malik really had a great summer. He put on about 22 pounds of muscle. His mom was a little scared when he went home. She said, she called me. I said, no, Miss Burton, he's all right. He's all right. He looks good. But, we tell them, hey, you become us. We don't become you. So you come in here and you do what we do. We're not going to, that stuff's over. But Malik had a really good framework. His high school program, his high school coach, like those guys there's a reason they win a lot. And so he knew what he was doing. And Deontay had a good summer in the weight room. All our guys, for the most part, had a good summer in the weight room. If you've seen Q, Markel, I mean, he was yoked up when he got here. I mean, he's a big dude. He's big, physical. He can really, really guard. Our guys struggle with him when he's out there guarding them.
Coach, you mentioned your comfort level with the program in year two. Can you get a sense from the players that they are more comfortable playing under you, your style, and maybe how might that allow you to kind of?
Yeah, I think this team. I think they're all more comfortable. I think this team's going to have a little bit more, our personality on it. We're going to be tough. I mean, I tell you one thing now. We may not win a lot of beauty pageants most nights, but we are tough. Like, I can tell you that after a week of practice. Like, we are, as we say in Tennessee, tough as a $2 steak, right? I mean, we're tough. We're tough, and that'll win you a lot of games. I mean, that'll win you a lot of games. So, I think our team's taken on that personality. Now we've got to clean up some of the details. If you're tough and can execute, then you're in great shape. So we got to work on that part of it. But I mean, we got a toughness to us. We got a good way about us, where we're going to battle. We're going to battle, and I really like that about this team, especially with the schedule we have and some of the road games we have. We're going to need to be like that. I thought last year, our defense was just okay. If you look back at the road games we lost, our defense and rebounding was atrocious. The first half at UMass, we couldn't guard anybody. The game at Mason, we couldn't rebound. Even the road games we won, at Richmond and at St. Joe's and some of those were just scoring fest. We just had a little bit more offensive punch. It's a tough way to live. It's a tough way to. It ended up beating us against Oklahoma. We scored plenty of points to beat Oklahoma. We just couldn't stop them, and we couldn't rebound. We had 2 rebounds go out of our hands in the last 2 minutes of the game, all that sort of thing. So, if we got a toughness to us and we can get a little bit better defensively and rebounding wise, which we are, we're improved in those areas. Now we've got to continue to improve. That's the personality we want. That's winning basketball. It's a good formula. Pound that thing inside on offense and guard people and rebound it. That'll work.